Now we have seen, because this Bryan is a VIP in this country, but if you look at the order of precedence of this country, I tried to look around, I did not see his name, neither did I see his position. And before Bryan, I could not see the position of Mr. Chitata, who had also controlled Uganda police. Now this Bryan has controlled Uganda police, has even controlled other big officials to the extent that he tells Ugandans that he's a State House agent, and the State House does not come out even to refute that that man is not a State House agent, which means he is so much connected to the level of damaging Ugandans, and he remains intact. Madam Speaker, I'm worried about this lady, Stella Nandaura, who is now under that safe house in courts, because nobody is allowed to go to that house and even see what is happening there, because the house is being protected by Uganda police. Now that she has gone back to that safe house, we are worried she might be even suffering more than she used to, because it means that she has been compromised, and even her parents might be compromised. What does it mean? It means that more girls are suffering under that house, or even other houses in this country. Meaning that we have so many people who have created their own states of terror within this democratic state of Uganda. Then we have to talk to police. Madam Speaker, we really seek your support in this issue as the Speaker of the Parliament of Uganda, because if the police cannot protect those ladies, those girls, in this town of Kampala, the city, what about in the villages there? That means we have to work so hard as Parliament and protect the people whom we represent. Otherwise, if we do not work so hard and talk so seriously about these issues, nobody is going to protect these girls. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Because in this country, I had the opportunity to watch on television somebody with the same name seated with the president of this country, not once, not twice. Even when an accident happened in one of our boats on the lake, we saw somebody by that same name. So I wanted the chairperson of the committee to first confirm whether this Bryan White, Mr. Chimura, is the same person who sits with President Museveni in various functions. If that is the case, then, Madam Speaker, we have a big problem in this country. First of all, the report says that this man is protected by the Presidential Guard Police. The police force, that is a specialized unit supposed to protect the presidency, is now protecting a criminal. Madam Speaker, even the entire institution of the police with counter-terrorism, commandos who can do this and that, cannot arrest this man, and is there going scot-free. Madam Speaker, this is a very serious matter. In the past, one of the late musicians died. There were allegations of the same. He would do anything to any woman, any girl in this country, and it went unpunished until he died. Now that we know that this Bryan is still alive, and I'm very disappointed a little bit that the committee also heard that he was sick in Nakasero, and they stopped there. From May 2020, and you reported in 2021 February, the committee could not establish that he has now left Nakasero Hospital. Is he so powerful that even the committee could not try to get to him? Madam Speaker, I think this report must be amended. First of all, the entire police institution has a very big indictment on their head. I hope the new administration can take charge. We have seen a honorable member of parliament, Honorable Dongoto, was arrested for crimes he allegedly committed in 2018. Why can't the police take action now? Why can't the police take action now on this? Because this woman who is missing may actually be dead. It would be very disappointing for the country to wake up one day and hear that this lady has died, well aware that the person responsible for these allegations is still moving out there. I want to end, Madam Speaker, that the creation of power centers in this country, where every Tom, Harry moves around town, fully protected. Even David Bahati, who controls our finance, Honorable Bahati, does not have such a protection. But there are others, Madam Speaker, that are heavily protected. Not even Madam Speaker is protected to that level. And they are moving in town, pushing away people in traffic jams, sitting in very high, on the high table of this country negotiating this. This must stop. And I beg to amend that this report be adopted, but with instructions to police to take immediate action and report to this Parliament on how far the investigations have gone. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Joffa.
Right Honorable Speaker, to have a police force that is, instead of implementing the maintenance of law and order, they are the ones who abuse the law. It is so absurd. So, Right Honorable Speaker, I think these recommendations need to be made stronger, that the police should take responsibility for the recommendations here, for these actions, and be able to apprehend this Chirumira, and be able to even apprehend Bright. Okay. Because he's the owner of the institution. He should be apprehended and he should be answerable to all these. It is not only one woman that he defiled. He must have defiled so many. So, Right Honorable Speaker, we need a police that is active and that implements, that enforces the law in place.
Right Honorable Speaker, in the same spirit, colleagues have talked about impunity in this country. It's good we have generals that are seated inside here and we have the Prime Minister. It's very unfortunate, Right Honorable Speaker, that the Minister for Internal Affairs is not here. But Right Honorable Speaker, out of the million people that are suffering, it's only one case that can come up. By the time the case of Bryan White came up, many had suffered through the same line. And many are suffering, Right Honorable Speaker. We don't know what we have to do, really. We don't know what we have to do to save the voiceless, to save those ones that can't come here to be helped. Right Honorable Speaker, you had the report from the committee that they could not have Chirumira come and testify. He was in hospital, so on and so forth. But in some instances, Right Honorable Speaker, some people are supposed to be brought handicapped to testify. And I think, Right Honorable Speaker, as we discussed yesterday, in the spirit when you are realigning some of these committees and the powers of the committees, Right Honorable Speaker, I think we need to have other powers beyond there. Because the police that is protecting Bryan White is the same police we are requesting to produce Chirimira or to arrest Chirimira. That is not possible. The police we know in Uganda, maybe there is another police, but if it's the police of Uganda, not the police of Kenya, the police of Uganda can't handle those ones. The laws that govern the police of Uganda are like that web of the spider. It can only arrest the small insects like the flies. When a cockroach comes, it even goes with the hollow web. So it's the same story in this story that we are in. The laws in this police can only handle small people, the disadvantaged. The big ones, their laws don't operate there. So we need really to have government. We need to have the Prime Minister come and tell this country, who are those ones that operate with impunity? They are above the law. They are protected by safe sea. They are protected by all those you see men who are not even in uniform but with the pistols and guns. They terrorize everybody. They are untouchable. They live in this country called Uganda. Who are those people really? Do we have another arm somewhere? Are they governed by different laws that are different from the ones that the Parliament of Uganda is supposed to make? We need to know. Otherwise, Right Honorable Speaker, I think, as the colleagues said, we need to have police produce Chirumira to really account for the sins in this country. Normally, laws are put there to either act as a lesson for others or prevent something that may come up. Otherwise, if we just have to produce a report, they say this one can't be produced, it can't be traced. Now others are disappearing, others are not there. The other day we saw somebody who was killed when the other went to set fire and pick the children. He was also gunned down. 2 days ago they went to the father wishing to gun that one down. This is the country we are living in. Handled, owned, and ruled by generals. Really, Right Honorable Speaker, we need to bring an end to this impunity and help this country to have Ugandans enjoy the country they call their motherland. Thank you.
I want to say that it is not true that some generals are above the law. Generals in this country have been prosecuted. Generals in this country have been fired. Generals in this country have been transferred. I think we need to isolate between crime and the forces. I have listened very carefully and I really feel very attached. I am going to ask my senior colleague JJ to come here tomorrow and explain about this Bryan Chirumira, who is bringing a lot of issues that is not untouched. Madam Speaker, it is all our duty as leaders to protect the rights of these citizens. And especially when it comes to young girls, the minors, I think everybody, we should join arms and make sure that the situation is brought to normalcy. Madam Speaker, I pledge to convey the message and to request my senior colleague to come and explain these allegations, and if they are true, we should all rise up in arms, whether you are in government or in opposition. This is a very serious matter. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. Does the Honorable Hatch want to say something?
Say that we condemn abuse of human rights anywhere in the country against anybody and by any Ugandan, because defense of human rights and protection of Ugandans, the rule of law, was one of the cardinal reasons why His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni and his colleagues had to get guns and go to the bush to fight to liberate Ugandans. So it is really wrong that this can happen, and as the Honorable Gwamilama said, the Minister for Internal Affairs will be coming to make clarification on these things and also to follow up action on what has happened. So we want to condemn the abuse of human rights, especially for the young girls that have been sexually abused. I thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I am not happy with the report myself, because in the report, they mention IGP Kasinje as one who helped them. If Kasinje, the IGP, could help them get these ladies to give their testimonies, and even when they came here, there was police that assisted you with the mother of the victim, and in the report they are saying that the criminal was in hospital in Nakasero, and because he was unwell, they couldn't get to ask him about this or to interrogate him. I think that there is a bit of laxity in what they did. Because even as a citizen, you have a right to arrest. You have a case of defilement. You have a case of abuse of young ladies, and they go back to the same abuse. How? Why didn't Kasinje arrest? Because even when you are in hospital, you can be guarded for the future. But the man, the criminal, was in hospital. She says he was in oxygen. I don't know why, maybe because of his sins. And he's not arrested. I think we should have more power as citizens of this country to bring the criminals to court or to book.
Okay, honour members, I put the question, that the question be put. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. And I put the question that the South should adopt the report of the committee. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. I have it. I'm delighted that the Minister of Interior to respond to these serious allegations. But as we said that, other members, General Honourable Ramirama, you know, for me, I consider the SFC to be a preserve of the fountain of honor. Why are they discrediting the image? They're supposed to be a preserve of the head of state. But now, in a... You want to thank us?
Madam Speaker, I think we need to be clear. In one instance, they are saying police. Now they are saying SSC. We need to understand which is which so that we actually address the criminal appropriately. Yes.
Madam Speaker, I want to give the information to the Minister that through this floor of Parliament, you've heard how Uganda came to know about Chirumira, Bryan White. You know how he used to move with the president. You know how he was mobilizing for the NRM. You know how he has been moving everywhere, roaming around this country. And the report has indicated being highly protected. Highly protected, members have come up to say, not even by police, by special forces that are meant for the government, for the president. So, Honorable Minister, kindly take that information as you have requested us that you want to inform the Minister for Internal Affairs. Kindly also tell him to come here and inform this House how a one commoner, Bryan White from Mityana, becomes so highly protected, under which law. He should come also here and explain to us so that we deal with impunity once and forever.
Just further information, Right Honourable Speaker. The Minister was interested in knowing, because it was just coming to know that SFC is also somewhere else. Madam Speaker, I'm inviting the Minister to spend a day at Parliament here. He will even see some MPs guarded by SFC. So SFC, as the Speaker has said, originally for us when we were coming up, we thought it was only a protection unit for the head of state, the president. But you'll find SFC on a vehicle somewhere, protecting some people in private cars. You find the SFC here. So we are using Bryan White just as an example. You have seen on TV when Bryan White is in Arua going to distribute money, is protected by SFC. When they went to arrest Bryan White, it's the SFC that protected the police even to reach there. So SFC is everywhere now. It's no longer a protection unit for the president. It's only a protection unit for a group that we don't know. Maybe the minister can tell us since he's also a general.
Honourable Minister, the information I would like to give you is that there were two issues here, the police and the SFC. And the police was not doing its duty. However, our interaction with the Assistant Inspector General of Police, Hassan Kasinje, he told us on page 23 of the report that Chirumira's house, the Chirumira's security were dressed in a police uniform of the Presidential Police Guard and that they had their own unit of command. That's the information I wanted to give you.
Madam Speaker and honorable colleagues, first of all, I want to clarify on protect security. You know, we lost one of our members here, Honorable Abiriga. And it was resolved by the Security Committee that we should not have another incident, and people were given protection. But they are not, nobody should use that protection to commit crime. And I want to be on record of this House that even the Right Honorable Speaker with her security, she cannot use it to commit crime and get away with it. So the point really I want us to develop is to go with to go to the object, to go to the criminal. If he was given protection for his life, it should be separated from the acts of criminality. And I want to assure the House that I'm going to take this matter to the powers that be. They should come here and explain. This man, if he has committed a crime, he should be apprehended and prosecuted.